My mother is the too much information lady. You have to actually stop her from speaking. Otherwise, she will tell you her whole life story, followed by the phrase, don't ask. That's my mother, you know, to strangers. Like to a waiter, well, tonight our soup. Oh no, I can't have any soup. I've been on and off the toilet with diarrhea all day. Don't ask. Oh. Good thing I didn't ask, huh? But they're cool, my parents. My dad's cool. My dad just turned 70, which, my dad might be the coolest 70-year-old that you ever hang out with in your life, as long as you don't hang out with him for too long. Because he'll show his age eventually, but for a 70-year-old guy, he's a cool guy. You know, he drives a Vespa, he wears a bow tie, he owns a vaporizer. But if you hang out with him long enough, I was walking around the village with him a couple weeks ago, he's like, oh, Jordan, they sell dungarees over here. Don't you need to get a pair of dungarees? Am I getting too big for these britches? Is that what happened? I don't... Yes. Kind of ridiculous. Well, my parents are cool. They smoke pot, which some people find a little bit weird. Anybody else here smoke pot? Anybody else here smoke pot with their parents? Oh, well, yeah, right. See? It's a great bonding experience, I think. It is. It's the best time to borrow money. Yeah. The hard part is finding the reason to move out. That's really... Like, it took me a long time. I lived at my parents' house till I was 29. And I only moved out because at 29, that's when it starts to get really hard to lie to women to get them to come over. Just so you know, my roommates are a little older. One of them might tuck me in later. Don't even worry about it. In and out. That's a cool bonding experience, you know. The conversation about when I was going to move out didn't come up that often. It was always like, you know, let's just order some Chinese food, smoke a joint. Eventually we were talking about how cool it would be if I lived in a castle. Which I think we all know would be pretty cool. Right? With a moat. You should have seen the drawing I did. It was awesome. Shit is on the fridge. The only part that's still weird, and I don't know if you've ever smoked with somebody from a completely different generation, but they have different words for everything. So every time I'm sitting there, my mom will see me smoking, oh, I'll have a toke of your grass. Far out, Mom. My dad makes words up. I was smoking with him once, he was like, holy kazootie, am I stoned? You must be. Kazootie, not a word. He was like, all righty-dighty, I'm going to bed. I was raised by the Jewish Ned Flanders. That's the only explanation for that one. I am Jewish. In case you guys have not caught my profile yet. My girlfriend is from Virginia, and she's from the... Yeah, right. You haven't even heard what I'm about to say about Virginia. What part of Virginia are you from?
Troutville.
Troutville. All right, I've never fucking heard of Troutville, so... I think we're going to be safe on this one then. Because some people don't know that there are two parts of Virginia. There's the part that's like the suburb of Washington, D.C., and then there's the part of Virginia that is part of the South. And my girlfriend is definitely from the part that's from the South, because there are no Jews where she's from. Zero. I was at a bar there. Some guy asked me if I was his Aryan brother. And that is a Nazi that has never seen a Jew. Yeah. I was like, I don't know, you buying? Yeah, it's a really awkward beer we shared together. If you come to New York, I mean, there are more Jews in New York than there are in Israel. Which kind of makes sense. This is the next smallest piece of land people like to fight over.